No, but you got no,
You,
because they got guns.
you,
They got
you
knives.
said no, no,
No,
no.
no. I mean, you do what you can. That's what I do too. I do what I can. I'm skilled. I'm armed. Observant. I'm cautious. I don't go to places, neighborhoods, bars, wherever, So I'm making sure that I don't get into any trouble, and if I do, I'm going to be able to handle it, in a legal manner too, not in an illegal manner, but in a legal one is important, I think. But yeah, but still though, someone can come right up and just go postal, just start shooting you while you're at McDonald's,
Exact. And then you got like your
like they
family
knife you
involved,
from
you
the
know?
back. You see these people on YouTube. I mean, they're just standing waiting for the bus. The guy walks right up and just stabs him right in the kidney for no reason at all. How are you going to see that coming? I mean, you got to think ahead, like you said, John Wick, stand in the corner, always expect it's coming, But sometimes, you're thinking about something else. You're on your phone. So yeah, I mean, you just got to be smart. But yeah, if you're a legal, and you're a law-abiding citizen, get a handgun. Really arm yourself because that's the only chance you get against other people with guns. Is if you got a gun, you know.
Jeez.
Yeah. I mean, I think the Second Amendment's for a reason. I wish there wasn't anything. I wish there wasn't no such thing as violence, no such thing as the thought that somebody else would try to harm a person. Nobody ever thinks of that. There's no such thing as a gun. Oh, you mean the thing that people hunt rabbits with? Oh yeah, oh yeah. I know about a gun. But yeah, but people use them for the wrong reason. But because there's guns out there, you have to have a gun. I mean, there's no, it's like, gee, you can't not have a gun. You'll be the sitting duck. You know, it's crazy. But yeah, I wish there was no such thing as violence or weapons. But because there is, the only realistic way you can defend yourself is to arm yourself.
Yeah,
So
for reals,
it's what it
man.
is. Yeah.
Jeez.
I live in the country though, so it's pretty nice. I mean, we live in the country. Everybody hunts. Not a lot of trouble around. I mean, I don't really. I mean, I carry mostly when I'm in the woods more for animals, bears and moose or whatever, might come up on you. But
You said bears or moose. You
oh
gotta
yeah,
you gotta
no,
watch out
I've
for the
had
moose.
moose. You don't know about moose? You don't hunt much, or you've not been in the
Nah,
woods a lot?
I'm not very much like
Outdoorsy,
hunter
yeah.
outdoors.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, no. I've had moose. They can kill you. I mean, they're not like they're not like some monster that's hunting you down. But if you happen to all of a sudden walk into the woods and all of a sudden there's a moose right there and he looks at you and you look at him and his hair raises up. He's choosing whether he's going to run or he's going to run over and stomp you dead. You know how horses jump up and they box you like a kangaroo with their front paws? They stomp you right on the ground. Boom. They hoof you just like a buck would do or a deer. They hit you with their hooves and they kill you. I mean, there's video I've seen on YouTube videos where people have been stomped to death by moose. They had this one video that I saw. It was way back like 10 years ago. There was this old man on Main Street, right on the sidewalk, right? And he's walking down the sidewalk, and right on the corner of the sidewalk, right in the city, right on Main Street, not in the city, but right in town, there's a bank. And right on the corner of the sidewalk, where the sidewalk turns and goes in like 20 feet to the front of the bank, there's like two trees right on the corner, and there's a moose just standing there eating on this tree. And this old man, I kid you not, this is a real video. It really happened, but it just shows you the example of how moose can behave. So anyway, the moose is kind of ignoring the guy just eating on the tree. So the guy is looking at the moose, and he doesn't realize that the moose is gonna stomp him to death. He's literally 10 feet from the moose with his briefcase, and he's an old skinny guy with white hair. And he walks right around the moose, literally 10 feet right around him to go into the bank, right? And the moose literally looks at the guy, just raises right up and knocks him to the ground and then stomps him dead. Just stomps his skull right into the cement. It's like, you know, and it was like a horrible video, but it was like, man, it's people think moose are like like a cow, but they're not.
They're like a
They can,
deer.
yeah, they can attack you. They can turn on you and attack you if you're not careful. You want to keep your distance and give them plenty of room.
They're like
You
a
know,
buffalo.
just like that. Like a lot of animals, they'll fight or flight. You know.
You use it like a lot. I'm over here just
Yeah,
naming shit. Buffalo.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Buffalo, yeah.
What else?
You name it.
What else, Buck?
Anything, everything. Most mammals, you know, have the fight or flight. Like elephants can run, or they'll stomp you, or you know, anything. You know,
Oh yeah,
rhinos, or,
the elephants will
hippopotamuses. Those are
stomp you.
mean ass motherfuckers.
Elephants
Hippopotamus.
are smart though.
Oh yeah, they are. Yeah,
Like,
but they're not always. They're not always kind though. Oh yeah, no, elephants can go ape shit. Oh yeah,
bro, you know
especially if
what's
you're.
what?
Especially if you know you're near the young, or if they get
Oh,
annoyed with something else and they'll go berserk like in the town, you know, just crashing through houses and everything. I mean, in India, places like that, they got trouble. You know, with Africa, where there actually are elephants, they can. You know, there's been plenty of stories. Hippos too. Hippos are, I think, more dangerous than elephants. They're one of the most dangerous things on, you know, that can run on land is a hippopotamus.
they could run on land.
Oh, hippopotamuses, yeah, they can outrun you. They got a mouth that would crush you. They can kill most everything. They kill alligators, lions, you name it. Yeah, look up hippopotamuses. There are lots of videos of people getting chased by them and stuff.
Hungry, hungry hippo.
Yeah, 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 and they're massive, and they got big teeth, big strong jaws. You know, they could put you in their mouth whole. You know, like they're so big.
Yo, I be tripping out how sometimes animals like they're just like I don't know how sometimes they got like a sense like you never see no animal videos where they're like I don't know they're just like
Yeah, I know. They don't have.
they'll rescue like another animal from like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
a
I know what you
different
mean.
species
Yeah,
like it'll bear
I
will be
saw.
saving like I seen like a bear save like a bird.
Right. Yeah, I saw that one too. And I saw this a hawk flew down into a field. This was a video I saw like a week or two ago on YouTube. A hawk flew down into a field and caught a rabbit. Got him. Boom. Got him right in his claws. And he's got him right there on the ground. You could hear the rabbit crying bloody murder, right? Just right? And all of a sudden in the video, you look it up, deer saves rabbit. Look it up on YouTube. Deer saves rabbit. And the deer comes all of a sudden the deer goes fucking nuts. It comes running out of the bushes like what the fuck? Like it was enraged. It was a doe. And it runs in a circle like what's happening? What's happening? And it sees the hawk and the rabbit, it runs right over to it, and it starts wrapping the hawk right on the ground with its paws, and it stomped the hawk to death. It was a flat pancake with nothing but beak and feathers in all directions. That deer killed the hawk, and the rabbit got up and ran away. But that rabbit and the deer were friends. I'm telling
That
you, I
was
know what you mean. It's amazing how animals can have compassion and they can
yeah
have
for
fear and anger and you know and jealousy. I mean, a
it's
lot
kind
of
of
animals,
weird.
mammals, yeah, some of them have more abilities. They have different anatomy to their brain and different abilities like we do.
Yeah,
But I
like
know,
monkeys. Some monkeys do the sign language.
yeah,
Apes.
yeah, and but yeah, I know they say you know higher thinking and all that is not necessarily a natural thing. Like you know, we evolved that way, luckily, with fire and learning tools and being hunted by bigger animals, and we had to gang together. And over, you know, thousands and thousands of years, hundreds of thousands of years, millions of years potentially,
Bro, what do you do
we've
for work?
evolved and developed.
You should be a professor, bro.
Oh, no,
Like,
I don't know.
Yeah, upgrade, bro. You be professor wherever you stay at.
No, no. I just regurgitate shit I know. I can't help it. I have a big
Professor
memory.
CAZ.
Oh, no,
All right, let me ask
no.
you this, Professor CAZ.
Mm,
I got a good one
yeah.
for you.
What's
I
that?
was just thinking about this. All right. So the universe, right?
Uh-huh.
It's
Give it
crazy,
to me.
right?
I'm good at these. Go ahead.
They're crazy, right? Like, I mean, when you just somebody was telling me like, oh, like I don't think like space is real. They was trying to tell me that, and then like they're like, how's the moon right
Well,
there? And
then
I'm like, bro, the moon is just massive. That's why, like, and then
it's
too,
a
I was,
quarter. It's a quarter of the size of our Earth. So if you were on the moon and you looked at the Earth would be 4 times bigger than when you see the moon.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I
But
was
I know
like trying to
if you
say.
question space, if you question space or you question truth of reality, then you might as well. Yeah, we're all living in a fantasy world. We're
Well,
living in a simulation or, you know, purgatory or something. Who knows what people think? How they
technically, cause like let's say you see a sci-fi movie, right? A lot of these sci-fi movies, they'll be in like domes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm like just thinking like maybe we just can't see that. But nah. Okay, even bigger than that. Past all that. So
But
so
but the scientists have studied it. We put spaceships in outer space. I mean, they have X-rays and gamma rays. They got, radio frequency signals. They know energy and heat and cool temperatures. They know matter. They know quantum. They know the whole theory of relativity and all that. I mean, everything. They've actually proven their ideas over and over and over again. So, and we have all these products that prove it. Whether I'm actually holding a computer and a smartphone and living in a reality, maybe I'm not, but if I am, then it all came from all the stuff that we know and it's tried and true. I mean, there's definitely,
but you
the
know what's a
earth and
trip though,
space
bro?
and
It's like just universe and whole like okay, Earth, right? Like
it's so big.
we
That's
didn't
what's
know about
trippy.
it. We didn't know about Earth. Like we didn't know if it falls off like the edge or what happens. Like we always like back in the day we looked at Earth like okay, is it round? Is it flat?
Right, and we
And
still
that's how
don't
you
know
gotta.
what's at the edge of the universe. They
That's what
don't
I'm
know
saying,
if it even ends.
bro.
Did
Like
you know
that's what's
they
pissing me
looked
off right now. Like I'm like, wait a minute. Like okay, like
they looked into a black void where there was no galaxies. They looked into a black void in between the stars where there was just a black spot, and they looked at it for days with the Hubble telescope. And then when all the images from that black spot through their sensors and everything, and they were able to construct a picture of what they were looking at in this void. All they saw is endless amounts of galaxies in that black hole. So they see all the galaxies in the universe, and they see this black spot where there's no galaxies. And they zoom right into that spot, and they analyze that spot for data, and they collect all this data, and they're able to make a picture of what that area actually is. And when they finally got all that information, they're looking at galaxy upon galaxy just stretching out into that black hole. Like there's no end to the galaxies.
that's what
You know
I'm
what I mean?
saying. But like,
Like
how
we don't
how
know.
can there
Nobody
not?
knows.
But like when you really think about it, like how can it not end? Like
It's because of this. It's because you're thinking of it in your mind, and your mind has developed in a certain way with certain constructs. So the way you observe everything is your life ends, the season changes, the road ends, everything has an ending or a barrier. Everything can be put in a box. Okay, that's the way that you and I and we all sort of see everything that we know, right? In our life. So we've sort of been trained to think that way. You know what I mean? But who says that the universe is that way? It does, just because we look at things like it must have an ending, it must be in a certain finite space, there must be an edges or an end, right? It
Yeah,
just
or a
sort of
limit,
makes sense
right?
from everything. Yeah, there must be a limit to it because that makes sense to us from what we've experienced in our little speck of a brain, right? Our brain's like a piece of sand on a beach. You know what I mean? We don't know. As smart as we are, we certainly, and we're gaining now with computers and AI. And you wait 100 years from now, 1,000 years from now, if the
I
human
wish.
species survives, man, we're gonna know stuff. I mean, these computers are figuring stuff out now. They're gonna figure out how to make people live forever. You can take a pill and literally live for 500 years, and you'll stay 30 years old. I mean, you might not live forever, but they'll figure that out too. They'll clone you, and then it'll be you for another 500 years. I mean,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're
they're,
already on that type of stuff.
oh yeah, right. I know it. Yeah, it's just not legal.
Government
But
type of stuff. But
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, it is
Or
crazy
like
though. I
even
know the
from like
universe is.
mind control, freaking, they've been doing
Yeah,
that stuff forever. CIA, like
yeah,
yeah,
oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, I know. Like gaslighting on a minute scale. They certain things they say, certain things they try to trigger a reaction. They analyze you. Yeah.
yeah. The world's insane, man.
What's really neat though too is quantum, the quantum space, not just the bigger space out there, but the space all around us, like shrinking. What's below the atom and all that. I mean, it's just so small, and the way that everything works, it's just amazing. That's part of the universe that they haven't really figured out yet. I mean, like quantum entanglement. Like how can things possibly, like if you look at what the result is, it changes the result. But if you don't look at the result, then the result won't change. It's like, what? How could you looking at the answer change the answer? Like you know what I mean? Like, because your mind somehow is within the quantum thing. I mean, it's just crazy, you know? I mean, the
Yeah.
whole, I mean, I don't understand any of that quarks and, I mean, particle acceleration and all
Have you
that.
ever
That's
have you ever seen the movie called Ender Games?
Ender
Yeah,
games?
Ender Games.
No, no, I've never heard of that. I've never even heard of that. How do you spell that? Ender? Like
Yeah, like Ender.
Ender?
Yeah,
Yeah. Ender
yeah,
games. Oh, I'll have to look that up. No, is it a good movie?
yeah. I think you might like it. You should check it out.
Similar
It's
idea.
yeah. It's kind of like it's about like I definitely see the future going towards like this, but like I mean, there's all kinds of movies that are kind of towards that, like Star Wars and shit like that. But like,
Yeah. Star Trek and all
and
that.
yeah, Ender Games is basically like it's about like a guy that's like a boy, very smart, like probably like I don't know, very very intelligent, right?
Hmm.
But they're like in the future where like they're in space already. So basically, like it's basically like they're in like space combat.
Okay.
So like they train and like it shows him like kind of come up in the ranks, and he comes up fast though because he's like so smart. So
Yep.
he's a young kid like leading a bunch of shit because he's that
Hmm.
smart.
Yeah.
So so yeah, basically like they train like up in space and they do all kinds of shit.
Hmm.
But I wouldn't want to tell you how the story goes or whatever. But it's about like um I
They're in a
guess there's.
matrix or
I
something.
get no, they're not in a matrix. Like they're in a they're like in their world, universe, and
A different
so like
galaxy than we are, so they have different
I would say
powers.
they're ahead of whatever time we're in right now.
Yeah,
So
more
they're
advanced.
ahead. Yeah, they got basically like space warfare going on, which I could see the world. I could see that happening. Like I see that military. I see space military coming out in the future.
Yeah, I mean it's yeah.
Like it has to be.
Security is a big part of having intelligence and having a free society with so many different types of people, security, police, military. So then, right, even though we all progress, things are getting more and more dangerous. More and more weapons for security create more and more need for security. So not only do people get more intelligent and more civilized, but also there becomes more military, and it's like a paradox. It is. I know it's just like a spectrum. Like I don't see how you're going to do one without the other until people finally, yeah, all choose to not see the need for it. But when you have anybody who
It's
sees the
crazy.
need
And then
for
AI.
violence,
Look, man, don't even get
yeah,
bro. We could,
oh, I
bro,
know, yeah, I
bro.
know, like the Terminator, yeah,
No,
like
but
Elon Musk was saying,
exactly. But he's not
yeah,
playing.
yeah,
He's
yeah,
not
I
playing,
know.
bro.
No, I know. But you got all the people, the best minds in the world, controlling that. The military,
Yeah, but
analyzing
when they
everything. Yeah,
tell you it's scary,
yeah.
yeah,
Or
it's not
they,
so good.
or they decide they're not going to deal with it this year because of the budget, and all of a sudden it's too late now. The thing takes over because they didn't want to spend the money on it or whatever, or they didn't have the money, because the Dems spent it all or whatever they're going to say.
It's just crazy. Like I can't imagine like it's like it's like
Yeah.
playing the computer. Like it's like playing a hard ass computer. Can a human beat a hard ass computer?
Yeah, no, no.
That's the thing.
You'd have to have another computer to beat that computer.
So it's like yeah, exactly. So it's like
They'll have to make a killer
compute
AI
so
that
humans
can
are gonna
hunt
have to
down
control the
other AIs.
computers.
Yeah, they'll have to have an AI that will kill other AIs. They're having trouble with some country in their AI, then they'll go in with their AI and they'll dismantle the AI. That's what they'll do. They'll
Oh my gosh.
EMP it. They'll take away its ability to function. They'll
Bro,
destroy it. The
don't even get
factory
me
where
started,
things,
man.
all that is.
There's this movie on Netflix. It's called like oh no, but it's basically like a military movie, and the guy ends up like he looks like normal, and then like you don't find out till the end that he's really a robot.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I
You
saw that one.
you seen it,
Yeah, yeah. There's a bunch of
bro?
movies like that.
Bro, but
Yeah,
that's how really I see it. I see warfare turning like that very soon.
yeah, yeah.
That doesn't seem out of it.
Aliens will take over. Yeah, who
Aliens.
knows? Yeah, I mean, who knows? That's a lot of movies, right? The aliens, they look like people, but they're actually not people. It's the invasion of the body snatchers, or it's the,
Divisions
it's
of bodies. That's
or them, or there's all kinds of movies where the people aren't really like Arrival with Charlie Sheen, or those kind of movies where the people look like people, but it turns out they're aliens and they're trying to terraform the planet and they're going to take over the government or whatever. There's all kinds of those too. But I would think they wouldn't be that trivial if they had the ability to come all the way here. They would either just leave us alone or they would just take us out. They wouldn't be struggling so hard to deal with us like in some of those movies. It's kind of hilarious.
I
But
don't know about all. I don't know about. I mean, I don't doubt anything at this point. I'm just like,
yeah, yeah. But I have to just believe in the reality and I know when my stomach gets hungry. I know when I need to shave. I know that, we need heat and the leaves fall and I got to mow the lawn and I know reality. You know, everything else that you create in your mind is a fantasy. And people believe in fantasy, they believe in their religion or whatever they want to believe in, but they have no real proof. They were just told it or they read it or, they think it, they believe it, but without any real hard facts. So I just tend to believe, like, I'm more of a realist. I believe, when I smack my head on a tree limb, I believe that's real. I feel the pain. I know when I'm hungry, Whether it's all just an illusion and we're in a matrix, I wouldn't know.
I mean, it's just so crazy that everything that goes on, like, bro, like, people go missing like crazy and they can't figure it out. Like,
Oh, I know. It amazes me. I
in
often say this to
America,
my wife. It amazes me how we're all so different, but yet most of us are very similar. We have compassion. We're trying to do better. We have ups and downs. We have friends. We're like good people, right? But you got some people are friggin' different. I mean, they're going around killing old women. They're pushing people in front of chains. They're killing little kids. They're shooting up people at the malls. It's like some of these people are absolutely just different. I mean, obviously,
exactly. Like,
if
yeah, like,
everybody was the same, the world would be a more peaceful place, that's for sure. But it wouldn't be as colorful. I mean, a lot of our diversity gives us all the chaos and gives us the problems and the need to overcome the problems, and that's why we've probably evolved, really. I mean, if everything was easy, we'd have still been like the chimpanzees. They didn't need to evolve. They live in, there's plenty of food to eat. They stay away from the lions. They got no one hunting them, and they just stayed the same for the last 500,000 years, virtually. But we've evolved. Why is that? It's because we've had to, and we figured out how to, utilize fire, and we learned to make tools, and we learned to, basically, we were getting eaten. We were the prey. So we had to gang up on these big predators.
well,
And now
we're growing for sure
here it is.
because I mean, trains
Now
were
we've killed
not
them
made
all.
that long ago. Trains and planes were not made that long ago, bro. Like,
Oh no, yeah. I know. If you look at what we've gained in the last, we've come along as a species in the last 100 years. But if you look at what we've actually created in the last, let's say, 5,000 years, people have learned to write. They've learned to deal with each other and make clothes and make jewelry and to make metallurgy and to make everything all the way up until now. And I know, and it's expanding more and more. I mean, I'm older than you, I would assume. And
yeah.
when I was a kid, things weren't nearly as advanced now. So just in the last, 30 or 40 years, things have advanced a lot. So you can imagine another 50 or 100 years in the future. We'll have flying cars. We'll have, you can just tell your car to drive you to Walmart, and you can just take a nap in the back seat. That's here now. They're doing it with Teslas. I mean, it's almost here. And now everybody's making flying vehicles. There'll be a day, might not be for another 10, 20, probably 30 or 40 years by the time they get all the infrastructure. But definitely like 50 years from now, there'll be flying cars. There'll be, people will be living on Mars and on the moon, and they'll have space stations floating up there that you can go visit on vacation. It'll be, there'll be exosuits. There'll be
Once I
another
see
thing they're doing.
space out of when I see space, like if I see myself out of the planet, that's it, bro. My reality of the world is just changed. Like my mission in life
Yeah.
will know, like, okay, there's a galaxy out here,
Yeah, yeah.
and I
And it's
must
crazy.
explore it.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. Pretty neat. I mean, even just to go up for like they do, on the rockets that they have now, like Blue Origin or SpaceX or
Yeah,
whatever, just to go up for an hour and then to come back down would be neat
or
just to
see with
see.
my own
Yeah,
eyes.
yeah, that would be pretty neat.
I have to. I feel like, yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
I,
it's pretty neat.
I have to do that, man.
It's cool that you can go onto Google Earth and look at it, and you can
You can?
see all the people. Yeah, Google Earth.
I don't know
There
that.
you go. Yeah, there's a thing on Google called Google Earth, and you go onto it, and it's the planet, and you can look at the whole planet spinning in space. It's real, and then
What?
you can zoom right down and look at anywhere you want on the planet. You can go right to your address and see the house. You could see your street. You could see the tree out front. You could see the cars out on the street. It's not live. They take a picture, and the picture that you'll pull up might be from a year or two ago. Usually it's like past dated. But you can look up, yeah, look it up, Google Earth. It's called Google Earth. And when you pull it up, it's an app. And when you pull it up, it's just a planet. And you can zoom in on the planet, turn the planet. You can look at the planet in the ocean. You can look anywhere you want. You can go to any city, see all the streets. You can zoom it way back so you're looking just at the planet. You can zoom right in, and you're looking at a certain house. And it's real, but it's not live. It's from, it's pictures of the planet like a year ago or whatever. But hey, dude, it was nice talking to you. I gotta go.
I feel it,
My wife
man.
made me some breakfast. Yeah, yeah, I
Alright,
appreciate
bro.
talking to you, though. Thanks for having me. All
Yeah,
right.
man. See ya.
All right, Ab. I'll
Alright,
call
man.
you Ab. Ab.
Alright,
All right,
Kaz.
absolutely. All right, bro. Catch you
Later.
later. Hit me up.
Peace.